going on, my people? I'm back again with another video. The topic is Impostor Syndrome. If you don't know what it is, I encourage you to look it up on Google or something. But in a nutshell, it's when you're plagued with a feeling of not belonging somewhere. You feel like you're a fraud. You didn't deserve what you're currently experiencing. So when did I ever experience this? To tell you a little story. When I joined my current company, I worked so hard to apply for it. I really wanted to leave the space that I was in. And this, in my mind, was my dream job for that particular moment. So I worked really hard to make myself worthy of the opportunity that I eventually got. And so when I started, I figured out quickly that I was surrounded with some of the smartest people I had met in my life up to that point. I've gotten to meet a lot of smart people in different contexts, but I was definitely overwhelmed. I started feeling like maybe the recruiters mistook me for somebody else. Maybe the hiring manager might have overlooked something. I'm like, these guys are extraordinarily smart, and there's no way I'm as smart as they are. And so these feelings of, not belonging and I'm not as good as they are, it started plaguing me. And it was the first time I got to experience that. And I don't know if you ever felt that way. I guess it might be common when you are surrounded by people that are just really good. And maybe your view of yourself is not as high as it should be, and in comparison, you develop this syndrome that a lot of psychologists have coined as imposter syndrome. So not to make this a long video, just want to share how did I go beyond that point of feeling like, man, I don't belong here. I'm so self-conscious. I'm not feeling like I belong. Here's a couple things that really helped me. Number one, self-awareness. Like, it's probably the only thing that I'll share, because self-awareness is like all-encompassing of a lot of different things. If you're aware of what stage of life you're in, for example, in my context, I was starting in my career, well, it's been about 2 or 3 years since I started working in the industry. There's people that have been at it for a very long time, and in comparison, I felt like I came short. But in reality is, they just had more experience to build that expertise. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not where they're at. If I build or develop a self-awareness, I'm like, I'm not at that level yet. But given the same amount of time and opportunity, I might get to that level or even exceed it. Just having a healthy view, a perspective of where you're at. Another element of self-awareness that I think is helpful is knowing what you're good at. If you know for sure you're good at this thing, and like I got hired because I was kicking donkeys, I was gonna say a different word, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not good at cussing, If you have such a strong view of what you're good at, in situations where you're tempted to think less of yourself, you're reminded in your mind that this is what I'm good at. I might be having a low moment right now, but I will definitely rebound. And I remember who I am. It's probably those two. Just knowing where you're at. Like it's not a quick race. It's a marathon. Some people are further along the journey, and you're just starting out. And also knowing what you're good at, and knowing how other people perceive you. There's a reason you were hired into that job. So that voice of reaffirmation and encouragement, just reminding yourself, like, hey, I got this. They know I'm good for a reason. I should know I'm good. I got it like that. Those are like the ways I feel like could help overcome imposter syndrome. So if you're ever in a situation like that, I'm just saying, man, just dig deep. Know where you're at. Remember, like, you got strengths, you're in it to win it, and it's a marathon, and it's a long race. Some people are ahead of you, some people are far behind you, but if you get your head down and get in the race, you're gonna be alright. Okay, this is a long video, but unfiltered. Here's the content. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. All right.